going on? So today I'm going to go over the sales process that essentially helped a client of mine do well over $1 million this year. Probably actually closer to two actually. I think it's like, but anyways, essentially we haven't spent $1 on ads with this. Of course, I've kind of taken a few things out here and there, due to kind of like it's a confidentiality thing as well. But either way, you're definitely gonna gain a ton of value here. A lot of people, a lot of companies, it's actually fucking and kind of embarrassing how there's like no sales process. Like people book a call and then there's a sales call. Like there's nothing that happens. So essentially, like even depending on where the leads are coming from, there's no way like you have no conversation before the sales call. Like they don't get warmed up to the idea of what they're getting into. There's no clear intention of what's happening in the sales call. Like they just book a call. So this makes your life so much harder because essentially once you want to make sure the call is as smooth as possible for you to close a deal, and you want to minimize the amount of time it takes for you to actually close a deal. So here's what we set up. So we essentially have a this kind of us essentially he has a YouTube and an Instagram audience, right? Really simple. We bring them to a VSL. Once they watch the VSL, I think it's like a type they can watch. They got to fill out a type form if they want to apply. It's an application thing, right? From there, once they apply to the type form, they can book a call directly with our team if they're a fit. Because here's the thing: if they're not a fit based on certain questions, it's like we'll disqualify them and just kind of point them in another direction. It could be back to the YouTube channel, whatever that may be. But if they are a fit and it makes sense, they can book a call. From there, once they book a call, my team gets an automation on Slack. So our setter right away knows, okay, we got a new person that booked in a call with their number, their info, like all the answers they put into Typeform. So the setter itself already has a ton of quite a bit of context on this lead, right? Right away, what he's going to do is going to create a WhatsApp group chat between the prospect, the closer, and himself. Reason why we do this, especially because this is like specifically like a European audience. A lot of people have WhatsApp, right? And they're more likely to check that out than even their emails. So we'll always make sure to make that happen. So another thing too as well is from that point forward, the moment they book a call, it's real simple. There's going to be an email workflow. The email workflow, first email is a call confirmation plus the VSL, right? We're going to resend them a specific VSL. A second email, we're going to remind them of the call plus drop some really valuable, like some really good case studies. The third email, case study plus student interview / podcast. Reason we're doing this is because we want to make it like undeniable that like the students in our program get results, but also ideally they can relate to either one of the case studies. Because some of these guys, essentially, of the students of ours, some of them they were in a job, they were stuck, they didn't know how to make it happen, or let's say they started that business and then like they weren't able to catch a break or they weren't profitable, and then they wanted to, and then finally they joined our program and they were able to like really find success. So it's like we try to find stories that can be as relatable as possible to our potential customer, while also building a lot of trust as well. The fourth email, it's like a reminder 2 hours before, plus we have a vlog video. It's kind of like a fun video plus builds authority. Real simple. SMS pre-call sequence. Right here we have SMS workflow. Number one, call confirmation. Check your email. Real simple, right? Hey, prospects, just notice you booked a call with us. This confirms your upcoming call with our company at X time. It's really simple, right? So it's like call run a call reminder. The reason why we do this through text is like we're sending them valuable assets through email, and sometimes people literally just do not check their email. So this ensures them to check them out. Another thing too I want to bring up: when we create a WhatsApp group chat, this specific setter of mine, not only will he chat with them briefly, but he'll actually try to get them on a call, a 5 to 10 minute call. On that 5 to 10 minute call, what we do is we try to handle some objections before they come up. We pre-handle them beforehand. So usually it's always the same shit, right? It's like, hey, I got to talk to my wife or partner. Hey, it's too expensive. Hey, I got to think about it. Like there's always a main objections. Ideally, we want to handle those beforehand, right? So it's like, and also the biggest thing too is we want to make sure they're going into the call with the right intent, with a buying intent, right? So therefore, he's going to ask a series of, he's going to kind of approach it in a way where it's like, hey, just want to ask you a couple questions to make sure we're on the same page here going into this call. And then from then go from there. And then even here's the thing too, and this is some people will disagree with this. It's like I don't even mind actually the setter giving them a range of pricing and letting them know like, hey, like if we were able to help, like would this be reasonable? Like, would this be feasible for you, honestly speaking? And of course, you haven't seen what we offer in depth, but like, if it makes sense, would this be something that's feasible? And if they say yes, go from there. Because the biggest thing too is like the last thing you want to do is like have someone who's all hyped up to join your service or program, whatever that may be, but they just genuinely can't afford it. So it's like I'm a big believer in just being transparent and letting them know what's up and just giving them a heads up as well in terms of what would that look like, you know. And but the biggest thing is from then just setting them up for success and also handling that stuff beforehand, before you know. And so from that point forward, that setter can forward that information to the closer and then go from there. And it makes the call so much smoother too, because like at the end of the day, we want to make it sure it's an organic conversation where you know whoever's closing that deal, right, has the prospects like essentially they have their best interest at heart, and so he can actually help. We're here to help them out. You know what I mean? And so if it doesn't, if it's really not a fit, we can still point them in the best direction. And the way I look at it, a good sales call is someone that comes in to a call and leaves better off, whether they move forward or not. And so having that mentality goes a long way, especially in in today's society, in today's space with this online sales space. A lot of people trying to force a sale down your throat when really it could be a very organic, smooth process, you know? And so I'll tell you another issue I see sometimes, like some people will book a call, they'll go and show up to the call, but due to like a lack of like they didn't set the right expectations for them going to the call. So they might not even expect themselves getting sold something. So they go into a call and they're like, wait, what? I gotta pay right now? Or hey, like I gotta like I didn't know that I was gonna get pitched. They didn't even know they were gonna get pitched. They thought it was probably like some type of like they didn't know what to expect because there wasn't a set expectation. So it's like this is where you guys, some of you guys may be fucking up. You know what I mean? So again, quick snippet. I didn't go too in depth, and then of course this is like after, whatever happens after a deal. But hope this is like a little bit valuable. I'm gonna create more and more videos that of stuff that I've done and stuff that I've learned as well along the way when it comes to recruiting, sales management, sales processes, sales teams, and stuff like that. I've worked with different companies as well, so I think this could be valuable. And again, I'm gonna go a lot more into depth in some of these videos too.